Hi, and welcome to another video by Get It Done Home Repairs. Today's project, we're going to be removing this toilet paper holder from the wall, and we're going to be replacing it with a new one. Alright, so let me show you what kind of tools we're going to need, and then we're going to get started, and we'll take this off. And this is an example of what kind of tools we're going to need. We're going to need a drill with an assortment of different size drill bits. We are going to need something to measure so we can drill the holes in the right spots, a Phillips head, and a flathead screwdriver, a hammer to tap the drywall anchors in place, possibly a flashlight so we can see what we're doing, of course, and that's just about it. All right, let's get in there and let's get started and get this job done. Now underneath this existing toilet paper holder that's mounted to the wall, we do have an Allen key underneath the bottom, so we're going to get the right size tool and we're going to remove it from the wall, and we'll see what's underneath here so we can put the new one on. So after we have everything off now, we opened up the package to find out what comes with it. It has the screws and it has those drywall anchors that they give you with the bracket itself. I elected not to use them because the drywall anchors that I use, and you can buy them in the big box store, they do minimal amount of damage to the wall, so it doesn't make a big tremendous hole in the wall, and they hold just as well, if not better, without causing any damage. So now we left the old metal bracket on top in place, and the reason we did that is because these metal brackets that they use to screw into the wall, when you screw them in, they mushroom on the other side. So if I was to try to pull them out, it would do a significant amount of damage to the drywall area. So we're going to put the bracket over the top using the one screw, and we're going to see if our new bracket that came with the toilet paper holder covers the existing metal molly or drywall anchor that's in place, and it does. So right now we're just going to leave that one in place. We're going to mark it here, and we're going to come in with a drill, and we're going to drill a very small pilot hole in there just to see if there's a stud behind the wall. If there's a stud in there, then we don't need to drill anything bigger. We can just put a screw in it and be finished with it. So let's try it now and see if there's a stud behind the wall. The drill bit we're using, just so you know, it's a 1/16 inch drill bit. We're going to drill it in there. 1/16, 1/8, whatever you have. And now that we put it in there, we find out that there is no stud behind that. You can see here we put our drill in there, and you can push it back and forth, and you can see that it's hollow inside behind there. So we know there's no stud back there. So now we come in with our 1/4 inch drill bit, and we drill it for the 1/4 inch until it's nice and a nice hole through there. We grab our drywall anchor, and we'll put our anchor in place, and then we're just going to tap it in with the hammer until it's flush with the drywall itself. Very lightly, because you don't want to do any damage to the wall. Alright, and once it's flush, we'll just turn the bracket back up, catch our second screw in place, and then we'll be ready to do the second part of the toilet paper holder. And then we'll just snug them both down. And that's it. Let's make our measurement, and we'll continue on the other side. Now here we have the one that's mounted right here. We're going to measure the height up from the floor, so we make sure we have it nice and level. And once we have it level, then we'll come over. We'll put that in there. It's the same height. Put our mark in the center where it's supposed to be, and now we know where we're supposed to put our second bracket in. We'll come in there and we're going to mark both left and right side. Again, we'll get in there with that smaller drill bit just to make sure that there's no stud behind the wall. Let's take our bracket and we'll put it on that little dot that we put on the wall there. It lines up perfectly. We're going to mark both left and right side where we need to drill. And now we'll take it down. We'll grab our drill with that little 1/16 or 1/8 of an inch drill bit in it. And we're going to drill very slowly into the wall because we may hit a stud. You don't know for sure. And you can see right there it's hollow. Again, there's nothing behind there. And the same thing here. So we know that there is no stud where we need to put our second bracket onto the wall. So let's switch over the bits. Let's put our bigger bit into the drill. And then we'll drill it very slowly. Once we drill it, we'll grab those drywall anchors that I told you about. We'll put them in there. And then we'll tap them in until they're flush with the wall itself. Okay, and once we tap that all the way in, we'll grab our second drywall anchor. We'll put that in. We'll tap that in the rest of the way. Then we'll grab the metal bracket that comes supplied with it, and we'll screw that second metal bracket onto the wall, and we're almost finished now. So once the metal cleats are mounted to the wall and the screws are nice and snug on there, we don't need to tighten them up too tight, just snug them in. We take our brackets and we're going to put them over the top like this, and we have the screw facing down, and we'll just tighten it up with a very small screwdriver until it's snug. Doesn't have to be real tight, just snug. Now I know you're looking at that saying that's crooked. It's not crooked. It's just the way that the photo is being taken because the camera is a little bit low, so it makes it appear to be crooked. We'll put our second bracket on. Whoop. All right, we'll put the second bracket over the top, slide it down, get our small little screwdriver. We'll put the screw in there and we'll snug it in place. Again, just make sure it's facing down to the bottom so that the two ends are facing each other. Once it's in there nice and snug, then we'll put the holder in the middle of it, and it will be fine, nice and tight. All right, after everything is all put together, we put our toilet paper holder on, and that's it. This job is done, and we're on to the next one. All right, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.